Okay, guys. Today we're dealing with a problem I invented all myself. I happened to misplace the keys to the ignition on my Foxbody. Um, we're in between moving right now, so I know it's somewhere in the move, but I'm not going through a million boxes. We got Mustang week coming up, so I've got to get this thing back on the road and running. This ignition cylinder's kind of seen better days. And what these things cost, it makes no sense to call it locksmith, in my opinion, because you can just call LMR, get you a whole new 2 keys and a brand new ignition cylinder, 25-30 bucks. And they're not hard to drill out. It's been a couple years since I've done this, but basically this video will walk you through step by step. If you have the keys, it's really easy to, depress this, and slide it out of the ignition. The whole ignition cylinder will come out as an assembly if you have the keys. If you don't have the keys, this is what we're doing here. We're drilling out this little bitty pin right there. And in order to turn the ignition cylinder, we're going to have to drill out right here. Not terribly hard, but definitely one of those things I made harder by losing the key. So, first step, you're going to disconnect your negative post on the battery. Second step, we're going to be removing this clamshell shroud around the steering column. So, nothing left to do but get to work. So this goes without saying, guys, that anytime you're working on a fine piece of machinery like this, you're going to want to throw down a towel, spare blanket, whatever you got, because there's going to be some metal shavings dropping all up in here. Found one of the old lady's towels, so works for me. So here's where your 2 steering column cover bolts are hanging out. Remove these. Bottom piece of this clamshell comes loose. Top comes from the top. Okay, got the 2 little screws out. And now you can see with the steering column cover off, all kinds of things going on with that. Let me show you this pin right here. Right there. Let me get close. Right there. If you would have had the keys, stick the key, turn it on, push that, the whole key cylinder will slide right out. Wouldn't have to be doing any of this. But this wire here, a lot of times you can pull out, get enough slack on it and unplug it without pulling this lower dash off. But I want to get that piece off so you guys can see what we're up against. Plus I don't want any metal shavings to go back in there and so on and so forth. But just wanted you guys to be able to see that pinhole where this job would have been over. But on to removing the lower dash panel. There's the screw. There's the screw. Pop those out and this lower cover comes right out. Okay, got the lower cover off. Just wanted to show you those 3 bolt holes at the bottom. They were 8mm, so just wanted to get you a quick view of how that goes. And quick view of the bottom. Okay, guys, this is where we get real technical. And crackheads, please stop watching right here. You're no longer needed. This is where we're going to drill out the tumblers so we can turn this ignition cylinder without the key. Not a video I like to show people, but us Mustang guys do the right thing. And here we go. And this is where you can see your plug for the key reminder or key chime. So we'll unplug that one now. And there's your key reminder plug unplugged. Okay guys, got the ignition cylinder out, and you can see all the metal shavings in there. So now it's vacuum all that stuff out, and simple as slide the new ignition cylinder in. Okay, so now we're going to move this retainer ring so we can get behind and clean out. There's that, and then there's a retainer ring right behind it. Okay, get the retainer ring out. And this is what we were after. Okay guys, and this is why we measured 1.5 inches and put a stop on the drill bit. Had we have gone further, we would have went straight through this ignition cylinder housing, and then we really would have been in trouble. So now I'm going to get the gear, the little bronze gear, cleaned up and show you what the purpose of getting that thing in and out is. Okay, an hour worth of drilling, and you can definitely see we've made a mess in it. So now we go get the vacuum cleaner and start cleaning up. Okay guys, got the 3 parts out, all cleaned up, and I want to show you why we measured the drill bit, because you can see how close we got to going through the retaining pin, or retaining plate, sorry. Once you get through that, we start going through the gear, and past the gear you start going through the column. So pretty heads up there to, we've done this before, not our first rodeo, but lessons learned in life. Okay, you can see we got the housing all cleaned out, metal shavings all out. Now time to install the gear. After that, the retaining plate, and then the spring plate. Alright, got the bearing all greased up. And I wanted to do a zoomed in shot so you could see here that this has a raised lip on it, this brass gear. That is going to be going towards the ignition, so that's going to be the side you insert first. That's also the isolated gear. If you can see, that's one tooth all the way off. That's going to be actually going at the 7 o'clock when we insert it. So remember to push your gear inside the car all the way forward till it springs back. And I'll show you after I get it installed what it looks like. And that's with it all the way in. Now to put the retaining plate over that one. And this doesn't matter forward or backwards. But obviously we know which side goes our way because which side we drilled in. Also, guys, if you want to save yourself a whole lot of headache, get yourself a magnetic pickup tool and put that baby right in. Get that in, align the spines so you can insert the this portion of the key cylinder, but next the spring plate. Okay, and the last plate we're going to be installing, the little notch goes upwards, and I'll install it right now and show you the finished product. Okay, let me try to reposition this light so we can see better, but that is the finished product. Now we are going to turn the key cylinder all the way forward and insert it. So that pin, in order to depress it, you have to turn the key cylinder forward and push it in with your thumb. And that's the whole problem that we had and had to drill this thing out. You'll see whenever I turn the key off, it'll lock itself in there. But if you had the key, this would have been a 10-minute job. Without the key, here we are 2 hours later. Okay, turn the key, push the button, and install. Turn it back, and once you push your button, you call that a job well done. Now we just connect the battery, check everything before we put everything back together. But as we can see, on and off. Don't forget to connect your battery. Also this little key reminder wire here, and test everything before you put it all back together. Well, I would say our key reminder works now that we got the battery connected back. Let's check everything else. Intercooler pump, dash, radio. I'd say we're good to go. All right, a little special clip here of the carnage. Went through a whole drill bit before we could beat this thing out. That's why I couldn't show you the actual removal part of the cylinder, but wanted to give you guys an idea of how much was drilled out of this thing. Good times. Always makes for a good video. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.